What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. Thursday, noon Central Time. That means it's time for Dispatching Live. And there's a lot to talk about. Yesterday on Live Carrier Advice, we were talking about broker carrier scams. So today we're going to continue the conversation with double brokering and theft. Plus, Sue's got a surprise. We have a surprise guest. We have a lot happening, so I suppose we ought to just get to it. Let's go into that. Woke waiver. Can you see it? Double brokering and theft. There we go. Okay, disclaimer. Here we go. Please be aware that the views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates or advertisers or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, that means you, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel they have the right to do so. You do not. If that bothers you, turn this off. Stop watching. Stop participating. You don't have the right to do that. Okay, cool. Hey, Sue, can you hear me okay? Oh, great. So what is the, do you have a big reveal for us today? All right, here we go. Okay, jump in the live chat. Sue's got a big surprise. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Let's see if we got this. Let's see. Oh, and yeah, Vance is here. Oh, here we go. She's at the beach. Woo-hoo-hoo! Tell us more, Sue. Sorry, oh, wait. Okay, wait. Now I can hear you. Okay, so where are you? What's going on?
I am at Ormond by the Sea, which is about 10 minutes from Daytona. And I'm sitting on my porch so you guys can see the beach behind me. So this is live. And my surprise was first you get to see me because it never works wherever I'm at. And it barely worked today. So, but
wow. Okay, so it looks really nice. And now you said you're in Florida, where the beach is warm in Florida, right? And there goes some video dropout. So you can see Sue is in Florida at the beach, and she's lucky because we are all stuck. We're either stuck behind the wheel or in front of a computer screen, and you're neither of those right now. Wow, this is amazing. I'm stuck behind a computer screen, but oh, okay. Well, I suppose that's true. All right, so now go ahead, stop your video for a second, let the internet catch up. As Ty said, dispatching from the beach. Yeah, and that is not a Zoom background. And there's Ben in the live chat. Ben's going to be on the show later today. Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty cool. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the screen, and so we can get through some of this. We have some business, and I just can't find the button because it's the beach. You can't see anything. Show me the truck. Let's do some show me the truck. I just saw this right before I was getting ready for the show. This is pretty neat. So this was sent in. This is Idaho bound. Now I see, right? We see Dalmax truck and trailer, but here's what he says. I love Vance. 2,300 miles, $5,500. Love my dispatcher. That is cool.
Awesome.
Nice job, Vance. Right? And when we share it on ATI, we're celebrating the good stuff because there's hard stuff too. Whereas if you just watch random YouTube videos, I don't think you get any hard stuff. So good job, Vance. I know it feels good because next week is going to be crazy. Okay. This also came in from. Now, I think Doug sent this too.
Yes.
Nothing better than new car delivery. Here's his truck and trailer. And here is his customer signing the BOL. That's so cool. That is a great shot. And he's even got like the, the warning straps or the, I think he's OSHA, right? He's OSHA approved in this. So Carmex says, thanks for helping us with moving our vehicle. We appreciate the sacrifices your family makes to accommodate this logistics work. It looks like you've got a couple of really hard workers on your crew. If you have specific feedback you'd like us to pass along to our Lancaster team. Wow, that is really cool. Signed, the customer. Good job, Vance. Man. Speaking of next week and next month and whenever, this is the bridge at I-95. I know everybody's already heard of this. There's going to be somebody that just got out of a cryogenic chamber and hasn't heard this. If you're north of Philly, I-95 closure is expected to last months. I was talking to Brian about this yesterday, and so I looked at it on the map, okay? So if you're on I-95 north of Philly, just so you know, this is the ramp right here. North of Palmyra Bridge at this Route 7395, something happened. Tanker truck blew up, went crazy. You know about this, right, Sue?
I don't. When did this happen?
Right. You might have been on your way to Florida. It was a few days, right. It was a few days ago. A tanker truck. I asked Brian what he thought happened. He didn't want to speculate live, which is smart. But a tanker truck like overturned and blew up.
Wow.
Under a bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it took the thing down. This is the aftermath of that tanker truck explosion.
Wow.
And the driver... What?
Is it in Philly area?
So it's north of Philly. So on I-95, which as we all know, I-95 is, that's a major artery. And it's right there. So I think it's like a 5-lane bridge. Yeah, dude. 4 lanes. Gnarly stuff. Yeah. So, and they're working on detours. It's just going to be a mess for a long time. And obviously that affects logistics. It's important to know this, share this, and if you need to send your customer screenshots, do it. Okay, let's go into the memo. We're already 10 minutes into the show. Can you believe that? This show freaking flies, man. Yeah. Oh, you probably didn't see this in Florida. Train hauling new vehicles derails in Arizona. 23, I think it's 23 cars. Look at it. You see, they got transit vans all over the place. It was on the news and everything. 23 cars derailed. The Williams train derailment. All right, let's move into, this is Auto Transport. Let's get into the craziness. And thanks for jumping in the live chat. Let's go into the live chat for a minute. We've got, Sue is in here. Vance is in here. Douglas is in here. Hot, cute Canadian checking in. Hot Mess in the house. Ty is in here. Charles. What's up, Charles? Ben is here. And Super Ben. Chris Chamberlain. Yo Carmax is in the house. Awesome. That I-95 area is the free bypass to the Jersey Turnpike. Yeah, it's gnarly. By the way, mic check 1, 2, 3. We're okay? All right. So, as I said, camera 1, this is, and let's do this. Let's go back to, who wants to see Sue on the beach again, huh? Come on. There we go. So you're in Florida. You're near Daytona Beach.
I'm about 10 miles from Daytona. This is what they consider the sleepy side of the beach side, which I'm cool with. It's a little tiny condo complex with maybe 100 units in it.
That sounds
Great
good.
pool, great beach. Yeah.
Oh, you're right on the beach.
Oh yeah. Literally, like I can just walk down and there it is, and the
Dude.
pool is right underneath me, and everybody's watching me up here right now.
Right. They think you're like CNN or. Welcome back to Fox News with Megan Kelly. Right? They think you're Megan Kelly.
I'm watching all these people watching me.
That's awesome. You should just start breaking into like, political news and
I
well,
was
we
trying
might
to say, remember your video where you were doing it on a pool, looking for loads in one of your video tutorials.
it's funny how that did get brought up. Were you on was it Dispatching Live? Somebody brought that up?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've seen it too. When I first met you, or when we first started talking, that's when I had gone and watched some of your videos.
You
So,
know, it's really funny. That video is funny because in those early days when I was doing those videos, I was trying to come up with ideas, and it was a lot of work. Like as you can now tell, right? Making that
yeah.
poolside dispatching video, that was hard.
Yeah. Well, you can't see yourself either, so it's not.
No, exactly. I had to set up the camera and then just go with it,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really crazy. And then I was like, what if somebody comes to the pool?
So what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, a code 4. We got a dispatcher at a pool, So, all right. So, hey, Jen is in the live chat.
Hey,
Sue's
Jen.
dispatcher's here slaving away in the office. That's awesome.
It's Dennis's birthday today. So wish everybody Dennis an 80th birthday. She's not really 80. I just give her a hard time.
Oh, of course. She's loving that.
Oh yeah, I already told her
I'm
happy
sure she
80th
is.
birthday this morning, and she pleasantly told me to F off. So.
Oh, that was nice of her. See, we're fun people too. Hey, don't forget to smash the like button. Give like a Sue in Florida, or Sue a like, yeah, or Florida, yeah. Just hit that button. Thank you so much. All right. Well, while you're comfortable at the beach, let's talk about double brokering and theft and broker carrier scams. Sound like fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were yesterday. This is probably good because that way we can't be accused of being too serious. You're at the beach. Hey, right? But the comments are coming in. There is a lot of concern about what? A load board, a lack of what's there a lack of?
Responsibility, I guess.
It is responsible. Well, and this is the problem. Is there a responsibility? Can you open a mall and let it get real popular and then just let, people come in and spray paint and do craziness and it's not your problem?
No, you can't. That seems to be what is happening.
I mean, somebody must have looked at this. You said that there's a load board. If you log in, now they're saying, "Can we get your feedback?" Tell me about that.
So I recently logged in today, and it immediately said that, do you want to give us feedback? Have a 15 to 20-minute conversation, that kind of thing. And
Really? I've never heard that.
Yeah, everybody, if you get on there, you can do that. They're asking for feedback for a bunch of different things. And when you go in there and click on it, you tell them what you are, whether you're a carrier, whether you're a broker, and then I think it had dispatcher, other, all that kind of stuff. I recommend doing it because honestly, the only way they're going to change what we need to get changed is by doing this kind of stuff and giving your feedback. And be brutally honest with them. I mean, they need to know, and I think that's the only way they're going to hear us. And it's kind of funny in a way because we're complaining and all of a sudden this is popping up saying that. So obviously somebody's listening to something. And
big shock.
Yeah, so give your feedback. Do the meeting. I mean, it's going to be worth your time to do this. I'm going to do it. I always do it, so they're probably going to be expecting me anyways, but I'm going to do it under being a broker, dispatcher, and a transporter. I'm going to do all three, and we'll see what happens. But I'm sure they always want me to do the interview. So
Well, it's got. I was thinking about this earlier because I'm not. I try to see for everything from every angle if possible.
yeah,
You know, it's got to be strange to have gone from, 10 years ago, this was a growing opportunity for people to transact in a marketplace.
right.
And now it's gone over the curve, as they say, jumped the shark, where now it's like, oh God, now what happened? We
Right.
used to have a marketplace, and now we have it's crazy. And there just seems to be this total lack of. I laugh. I throw up the wrestling ring thing, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. I even thought, I probably need to stop using that. And then I'm like, no, it's totally accurate.
It's a no hands off approach.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. How many times have they complained about transporters listing cars, and yet they're still doing it?
And here's what I was wondering: what will happen? What happens if a legitimate traditional national media picks up this story? That would get weird. I mean, I don't know if that will happen, but there are business magazines that are looking for this kind of stuff.
Right.
What if in Fast Money or some mid-sized business magazine, an article pops up where a journalist is like, hey, we picked up this story of the largest load board in auto transport, and apparently you can do whatever you want, and people are. Now, as I say this, I realize there could be somebody somewhere in a conference room thinking, God, is he right? But that's where we're at. We really want you, and maybe that's why this feedback window's now up. We really want you to think about this, because it's not enjoyable for anybody to worry. It's just I really do look at the shoplifter, whoever's in a store in downtown Manhattan and worries about shoplifters coming in and just rummaging the place and running out, and nobody does anything, and if you do anything you get fired. I mean, that's where we're at. This is really nuts. So I'm going to share some stuff. Let's do this. There it is. This is welcome to Auto Transport. You could do whatever you want. Okay. This is actually an indication of what I just said. I don't know the source of this how to tell if your car shipping company is a scam article. I didn't write this, and I've never seen this publication before. So it's getting out there.
Yeah,
Key takeaways.
Cars.
Yeah, because, that's the thing. If enough cars get stolen and enough customers get harmed, we'll see more of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, take note, everybody. I don't know. But this isn't, if this doesn't get resolved, it's just going to get bigger and it's going to get more attention. This came from Ben, Super Ben. He says, hey, Jay. Wait a minute. This is not, he's saying this is not a legitimate email. And we're going to bring Ben on, and we're going to talk more about how to spot, because it's up to the people, and this is the problem. It's up right now, since there's no cops in the mall and there's spray painting and craziness going on, it's up to the individual to be vigilant.
Yes.
Which is nuts, because I thought, a marketplace, we could at least rely on the marketplace is a place for us to just do business and manage all the other craziness. Right. But now we can't even trust the marketplace. No. You can't trust what you see in your emails. Ben is saying that this is not a legitimate, and I remember saying I can't believe, is this real? And there it is. So this
I thought
It's
it was real too.
I know. Well, we got tricked again. We're always getting duped because they keep coming up with new. Like I've been duped by faked LinkedIn profiles. We have to stay vigilant to figure out what's real or not, which is also unfortunate for American politics because people can't tell what's real or not. This is from Central Bot for Dispatchers at gmail.com. And Ben is saying, right there, that should be a flag.
Right. I thought it was from Central because it came to every driver that I had last week.
Right. Well, they
caught it too, and I didn't. I mean, I was just assuming that if it came through Central, it was from them. It's not.
It's pretty smart because they used the words Central Dispatch, but it's not from Central Dispatch.
Like when you see the Yahoo or the Amazon thing that says you purchased this, please check on this and click, click, click. Yeah, that's what I think it is too.
And Ben again is going to point out other emails that he saw as examples. And this is where, and I got to say, here's an applause button. Good job, Ben. And you know what's cool? This is Super Dispatch working to help the community. So good job, Super Dispatch. That's awesome. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody to help.
I got them for every one of my drivers, so I know everybody else out there got this email because I think they're just going through Central and clicking a button.
Right. And how many people fell for it? So he's like, yeah, check the email address. The email address isn't, and there's no branding on the email. It's poorly written. And as I said on the show, they already charge for alerts, so why would they do this? Duh. That should have been my biggest red flag. Right? Because I was saying that it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So,
but I saw that and I'm thinking that's who it came from.
I know. We got duped, man, live.
I even sent it to them to see what they thought, and I have not heard back.
See, and thank you. This is the problem. Is that I don't know. How do I finish that sentence? You sent it to them, and they didn't say anything?
No. I sent it to them a couple days ago. Yeah. In hopes that we might get a response for the show so that we could conclusively say this is not them, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So.
All right, and Ben points out it could be a real product or service, but it's not from them. Yeah. Right.
But it implies the way they sent it.
Exactly. And if they're implying it, then how great of a product is it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Where are you going to end up?
It's not ShamWow, it's Sham Shao, But believe it, it's great, it's great. Oh, man. Okay, that's craziness. Well, I'm glad we touched upon it. I think it's really important. And I got to say, I want to thank everybody in the live chat. Please do. Give yourself a round of applause. I know that's silly. But what if we didn't have this platform, and it's a shame there's not 100 people here. Whatever. But I tell you what, Sue, you know what's really weird? Is that, like Ty was in a meeting last night with many carriers he never met before, and they all said they watch ATI.
Oh, really?
So I don't know I don't think the views make any sense anymore. I don't know. I really can't. I don't know what's going on.
So can people be on there without you seeing the numbers? Is that what you mean?
I don't know. It makes no sense. But I mean, we know the community. We don't. It's not. There's not 100 people saying hello in the live chat. Right. So I don't know what's going on. But what I was gonna say is, without this platform, I know I'm biased. I'm the founder. But without this platform, nobody else is going to talk about this.
Right.
That's why Zeb Frank is on LinkedIn jumping up and down, looking for somebody to respond to him. It's not in anybody's business interest to cover this stuff.
Right.
It's just not. And so we need you, the community, in a real way. We appreciate you. Share this information. It looks like what we got to do is, if you'll just share, will you share this show with one person?
Right.
Because I don't think YouTube is going to help us. In fact, I know, you know what? The last week's show was called, like, Big Lies, Fake Profiles, and Carrier Retaliation, question mark? And I'm like, I think that those words suppressed the show because there's this belief that if you're talking about scams, you're a scammer. I don't know. Weird times. All right. So let's do this. Let's go back to, and we're gonna bring Ben on here in a bit. Oh, and I just want to share this. Like, the phishing is now out of control. There are now legit organizations having to send out emails saying that they've been the victim of a phishing scam. And here we are, right? Once again, we're talking about one of the biggest marketplaces in our industry, and they won't respond at all. Do you think that'll change? Do you think that?
You're going to have to. I mean, you still can't. I mean, we all know every time we say something, especially when this first started, we're told that's not possible, blah, 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 but it's still happening, so it has to be possible. And it's not just happening to me, it's happened to other brokers we talk to. I've taken loads from brokers recently, and they said it was happening to them. Their cars were stolen, so when they're getting our information anymore, they're being very specific. They're wanting pictures of our trucks and trailers now, and stuff like that. Which
Checking
I don't.
Your ID.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I
don't either.
Wouldn't have to pay out on a vehicle that got stolen either, you know. So I totally get it. It just sucks for the real people out there that are doing honest work and don't have time for all that. You know what I mean?
You just made a good point. It's like Uber Eats. When Uber Eats brings your food to the door, you got to check their ID, get a picture of the driver and all that stuff. But Uber Eats doesn't deny there's a problem.
Right.
Right. Oh, whatever. It's gonna have to go somewhere, and I'm gonna go to camera one on this. Please know we're trying to help, so please see us as part of the solution and not the problem. I'm asking you that. Okay. All right. And that's also why I've backed off. I'm not saying company names. I don't want to do that. All right. What else do I have here? Okay. Yeah, and in fact, okay, let's just share this. We're talking about the scam stuff. We'll do this before we bring on Ben. I didn't fuzz out any information here because it's gotten to the point where how many companies now have we heard mention this company? You can't see the screen. But this company's name has been mentioned several times now by different people. Big scam, stay away, don't book their loads. I'm losing money because of this company. And this is a carrier.
Last week, is that what we're talking about?
Exactly. It's a carrier. This is the story. We're reporting on the story, okay? Put away the briefcase. We're reporting here. There's a carrier booking loads, allegedly, then giving those loads to their sister broker company, thus double brokering. And who knows what else. I mean, these guys are talking about, this guy says he lost $3,200 because of this company. I mean, and in fact, somebody said to me, there's literally now international fraud set up to just rip people off. Like, they're not even hiding. Because when it comes to international fraud, you know how hard it is to catch international fraud? I mean, my God. And then, like, drivers and carriers, like, here's what I'm looking out for. And this guy said, if I don't trust a company, I'm going to call the customer on delivery and confirm with them how much they're paying for the vehicle to get transported. I said to Brian, can you do that? He's like, no, actually, you can't really do that.
Way to get the load canceled, for sure.
I mean, what a mess. Then this guy said, if you drop it off, you're not going to get paid. Biggest scam going on the load board. We've been following this scam for weeks. Again, this didn't just start, man. This scam's been going on for weeks. And now they're updating names of companies and putting it in Facebook groups. I really do. My prediction, I predict by the end of this year, if this doesn't change, we're going to see this in a news publication bigger than ATI.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And let that sink in your conference room. I'm trying to help you, man. Okay. And then this one, too. I mean, this is another guy. This guy, because more and more people contact us. This guy says there's fake carriers going on there. When they get loads, they pick up cars from auctions. They never deliver. He's spoken to victims of these crimes happening through the marketplace. When he called them, they don't care. They're rude. They don't help. And he's just updating us and wants to bring awareness. And he's saying, this place is making it easier for these folks. It's very concerning. I mean, this is crazy. We've gone from being worried about functionality to like a legitimate marketplace in 6 months.
Theft of cars, theft of money, yeah, all of it.
Isn't that crazy how fast that's happened?
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because that's the same time frame as ChatGPT. I don't know if there's an AI connection here or what. I don't know. And here's what's interesting. At the same time, meanwhile, on Super Load Board, we saw this. We're seeing more and more shippers posting on Super Load Board than ever before. We saw companies on Super Load Board we had not seen there before. So there is a shift. Something is happening.
Well, I honestly, every time I talk to a broker anymore, I'm telling them about it too as well, because some of them aren't aware. And especially if they're having problems with what we're talking about, I'm definitely telling them to contact them, because if they list it that way, then there's no way for it to go through the other way, if you know what I mean.
Well, exactly. And are you able to check the load volume today?
Yeah, it was at 37,700 and change. I think we were at like 35 last week or something like that.
Okay.
So we're still in the right,
Okay, because here's what, thank you. All right, so according to this, let's say 5,000 plus, and we'll ask Ben how many loads are on Super Load Board right now. Because what's going to happen, it's like everything else. It's kind of like, when you see, I just thought of the voting, people always want to know the polls, how Biden has what, Trump has what, Hillary has what, and that helps them gauge the shift. If they're at 37,000 plus, and the other guys are at 5,000 plus, then that's 42,000 plus total. Now, I'm never 100% on how to do this, but I'm going to take 42,000 divided by 37,000. No, that's not right. I'm going to take 37,000 divided by 42,000, and that's 88%. I'm going to take...
Still, though, that those loads on Super Dispatch...
I know, there's duplicates. I know. But we're still looking at it from a shareholder's perspective.
I got you.
All right. So if the first guys are at 88% and the second guys are at 12%, this is why the shareholder's like, Dad, don't worry about it.
Right.
But at what percentage change does the shareholder go, what? Is it 65-35? Is it 60-40? Because and I think this is what we're really dealing with, is nobody in the conference room is going to change the coffee until they see these numbers reach a certain point, and then they go, oh my God. It's kind of like the Bud Light thing, right? At first they were like, and now they're freaking out. Right? We got a freaking problem. By the way, I'm just going to say this now, since this is dispatching live, and it's auto transport. You can do whatever you want. I have an idea for Bud Light. You want to know what it is?
fine.
Okay. I think this is a great idea. Just go back and put all the product in like black bags. And put a sticker on it. It just says BL. We know you like this beer. We want you back.
Just like a blank.
It's not an apology, but we get it. Just between me and you, we get it. We effed up big time. And the BL 50% off. We know you like this beer. We want you back.
Yeah.
I bet you could get 10% of the people back right there.
Probably.
Because there are people that want to drink this beer. They're just afraid to buy it.
Right.
But if you put it in a black bag, and that's my point, brown bag, I don't care what you do. But it can't look like a Bud Light case. If it does, they're not going to buy it. Nobody wants to be seen. This is where we are in society. Nobody wants to be seen walking out of a store with a case of Bud Light. But they would drink it. They just don't want to be seen with the case. It's pretty funny. All right, you're welcome, Bud Light. Oh my gosh, I just read Bud Light shares just went up 1 billion because I said that. Okay. See, you can't take this show too seriously. All right. What else we got? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, did you see this? Now, here's what I'm talking about, shareholders. In 2016, Super Dispatch was moving 14,000 cars a month. Today, it's over 500,000 cars per month are moving on Super Dispatch. Whoa. That is intense. You're welcome, shareholders. Let's see. Oh, hey, don't forget, they're giving away the Lucky Load, so do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with Ben from Super Dispatch. You do not want to miss it.
Hey, Beck.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Good. What are you up to?
You know that Lucky Load that we launched?
Yeah.
Where somebody gets a Lucky Load every month on the Super Load board? So we have a winner. We ran a promo on the Super Load board called Lucky Load. It was Stan's idea.
That was my idea. I'm Stan.
Empire Auto won a $600 prize, hauling from MJ Automotive, but we don't know how to get a hold of them, so could you look them up for us? 2104. Should we tell MJ Automotive too?
We can. MJ Automotive. They were the shipper?
Yeah, in your idea, in your original vision,
Yeah.
does the shipper also find out?
In the original vision, it was designed to reward carriers for leveraging the load board.
Okay, we found it. Here we go.
Hey, Jerry, this is, you have a whole team here from Super Dispatch. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
We're doing great. Are you familiar with the new promotion that we launched called the Lucky Load?
I am.
Congratulations. You guys are the very first winners of the Lucky Load.
Very nice.
Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Woo! You're a great dispatcher.
The next evolution of moving cars faster, smarter, and easier is here. SuperPay by Super Dispatch. Today, shippers waste hours managing fragmented payment systems. And carriers are left wondering, never knowing when they'll finally get the payment they're owed. SuperPay saves everyone time and hassle by securely automating payment upon proof of delivery. No more tracking down payments or onboarding carriers to disconnected payment systems. With integrated payments with SuperPay, Super Dispatch is now the only end-to-end, all-in-one auto transport platform. Automate payments where you automate transport.
Welcome back to ATI Auto Business, dispatching live Thursday. All right, so we have a special guest with us from Super Dispatch. Please do wish a warm welcome to Ben from Super Dispatch, Super Ben.
Hi Jay, hi Sue.
Hey,
Great
what's
to be
up,
here.
Ben? How you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well.
Cool. Why don't you take the mic over for a second? Please say hello if anyone doesn't know who you are, and Super Dispatch, tell us more.
Absolutely. My name is Ben Hargis. I'm a product manager here at Super Dispatch. My area of focus is our marketplace, which is obviously a big subject here on Dispatching Live. It's good to be back. Good to see you, Sue. See you taking some time off, but not too much. But good to see you. You're on the beach, just enjoying the weather, and yeah, got some great topics for us today. We're going to talk about emails and what's legitimate, what's not, how to keep your business secure, in the super wild world that is auto transport sometimes. The industry that we're in is changing so fast, and so we'll just talk about some things there and touch on a couple of things. Super Dispatch.
Okay, so excuse me there. All right, so many different directions to go. Okay, so we're going to talk about the bot email. Really what we're talking about is how would you categorize that? Carrier what?
Yeah, it's just keeping your business secure. In an industry that there's a lot of vulnerabilities. I mean, being honest. So yeah, keeping your business secure. Touching on the example, you guys got that email about the Telegram bot, which lets you know about those shipments, as it said, which you wanna transport. That's more than likely a legitimate third-party service, and this isn't to say that a third-party tool is not something that you can leverage as a tool for your business and use it to grow. And adopting new technology like these types of things, this isn't to say that that's not something that you should do, but it really struck me when you mentioned, hey, we got this thing from Central Dispatch. And I could absolutely see why one would think that. Central Dispatch is in the email name. They're using the yellow color, orange color, and it looks like it's from a legitimate entity. So I thought it was a great example of maybe what to look out for in trying to vet some communication from some company and trying to understand if it's real or not.
Show that. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. I mean, yeah. So you're right about the color. That is interesting. They got the color, right?
Absolutely.
They got it's a better email address than many phishing scams.
Yeah.
Some are just ridiculous. You sent in some great stuff, actually. Let's go that because I want to focus. I don't want to leave the focus on that. Let's talk about how you really did some homework here.
Yeah.
You shared these. Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so I got, I watched this and I was like, oh, wow, like, I feel like this is a really good opportunity to just talk about these types of things. And so I reached out to our cybersecurity expert here at Super Dispatch and said, hey, do you have some examples of some, suspicious looking emails that we could, kind of go through? So she provided me with a bunch of really great examples of emails that at first glance look 100% legitimate and don't look on the surface to be, harmful at all. But as you see with this one is from quote unquote American Express, right? So the subject is kind of a call to action. Hey, there's an issue with your account. You need to do something, right?
Right.
And then if you look at that email, there's no indication that that's from the email address up there at the top. No indication that that's actually from American Express. You see like
Pentagon.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Absolutely. So that would be like the first red flag right there. Yeah. Here they've tried to put the American Express logo there, but as you see, it's quite scrunched up. It's not quite formatted right.
Yeah,
it looks a little funky, right?
Yeah. Right.
So these are just some examples of things that you want to look at when you receive an email from what may appear to be a large business or an entity, and how to kind of vet if this is legitimate or not. So, even this little touch at the bottom, this is good.
I know. I was looking at that.
Yeah. So for the security of your account, we advise you to, not notify your account password to anyone. Well, that doesn't really sound like, how you might say that in the English language. So,
yeah, right.
Just little things like that. Poor grammar, poor spelling. Little subtleties that you can pick up on to kind of.
But you don't read it. Listen, if you're in a panic, you're not going to read that.
Yeah.
This is where, this is where when we get the phishing email, our state of mind is a big part of whether or not it's going to work.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what their goal is, to capitalize on urgency from you and to try and make you feel like you have to do something immediately. So anytime you receive an email that is kind of in that tone, like, hey, there is urgent action needed from you now, you absolutely have to do your due diligence. And I always every email I get, I start at the top. Does that subject sound right? Is the from email address, is that correct? This one here is probably the best phishing email I've ever seen. This one claims to be from AT&T.
Wow,
the email address has ATT in it like 3 times. There's a AT&T logo there at the top.
This is
good.
But wow.
If you hover over that link, any browser that you're using will, kind of display what that link is.
MargoPassadoreStylist.com.
Exactly. Who knows where that goes?
Wow.
Who knows where that goes? And if you click
it,
they could have, access to your personal information.
And look at this.
As soon as
the file is .pdf.jar. Now, I don't know what that is, but what's a jar file?
Good question.
Whoa.
As someone who works in technology, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what jar is, yeah.
But yeah, these are just kind of
short for Trojan horse about to kill you.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
It's on in Yahoo all the time, and I know that. I don't know why I didn't even catch the Central one. Probably because it came through Central.
Right.
Immediately,
Well, and it went to everybody. See, now that's interesting. The fact that it went to everybody, that would, affect your assumptions of legitimacy.
Yeah.
Wow, This is really fun.
So
here's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good one. I think this one is probably one of my favorites because it's so funny. It just, you get this email. I'm not a Nokia customer, so I don't know what their emails look like. But save your stuff. Save your stuff.
Save your stuff.
That's just the urgency that they try to get from you. But this doesn't sound like something that Nokia would say, does it?
But it's at info@news.nokia.com. So the email address looks pretty good.
Does look pretty good.
And the subject matches. But yeah, I agree with you. Save your stuff is weird.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But wow, look at look at this. Wow. They really went through it. Wow. This looks pretty legitimate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we know for a fact this isn't real?
Yeah.
Right? What if we were wrong and this is real? Right?
Right.
This is crazy.
You see the date there. It's a pretty old email.
I saw it 2014.
Yeah.
Back in 2014, everybody was wanting to save their stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one.
I think anybody would catch this one, but you start at the subject there. Have been hold your Netflix account. That's a pretty poor.
That is a cat has cheeseburger.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT would even do a better job translating.
I'm pretty sure. I've been old.
info@confirm.com. That's throw that one immediately in the trash.
That's awesome.
Don't even spend too much time looking at it.
But we go down a little bit further and we've got so again, you hover the link. Okay, so hovering the link, this might be advanced phishing that I don't think people know about. Don't click it, hover it. Is that right? Because this link, oh man.
Wow.
That's a monster.
Yeah.
God
absolutely.
knows where that one goes.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
See, your average person would just click this stuff. They wouldn't think anything about it. You know what I mean? If they have a Netflix account.
Yeah.
Listen, if you were on the beach in the sun in Florida, you might click it.
Yeah.
I'm not clicking because I
So-
need to get on my Netflix account, damn it.
Trying to watch her shows on the
That's
beach.
right. We can't miss the shows
Laying in
tonight.
bed watching Netflix.
Yeah.
That's what vacation's all about. I really agree with that. But here's what we haven't really talked about yet. But like, what does clicking on a link like this? What impact could that have? So even phishing, just malicious emails in general, could provide someone access to your email account, which has probably a lot of sensitive information in it. Could provide somebody access to your device, which means that even if you're changing your password on your email, then that device is compromised and you could potentially be doing all of that password changing for nothing. So, one concern here for carriers specifically is if somebody who is a bad actor has access to your vital business accounts, which you use to run and grow your business, they could potentially be, a bad actor and pose as you. They could be, let's say, booking loads from shippers and stealing them. So it's very much something that we all have to do our due diligence on. I think something that is really, really important to call out here is that, like, this is an industry. Within the industry, there is this community, and we're all people trying to make a living by doing right by others. All of us here in kind of auto transport and transportation and logistics in general do have, I think, like Ty says, they have that servant's heart. But this industry is changing really fast by the day, and we have to look out for each other. So that was my intent here with emailing you, Jay, was like, this doesn't smell right. And even if it is a legitimate, tool or third-party service, it ain't the company you think it's from. And I think another signal that this industry, like carriers and brokers and shippers, are all kind of like sharing this info with one another in Facebook groups and over text and maybe in Telegram chats, or it's a testament that at the end of the day we're all players in this industry, and we are all looking out for each other. I mean, we aren't the industry we are without each other. And I think this is like seeing all the the, hey, watch out for this broker, or hey, watch out for this carrier, in some of the Facebook groups where fraud has absolutely occurred and people have lost money and their businesses have taken hits, is a really good testament to that, I think.
Well said. That was fantastic. And I don't mean to put an end on that, but Ben, I noticed this in our show with you, and I'm seeing it again now, is that you have some important things to say, and I like the way you're bringing the message. So I'm just going to give you the applause button right now. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said previously, we are all in this together, and like this industry is not this industry without every player in the space. So we got to push it to the future together, right?
We do, and it also draws a stark comparison between closed doors, having to go to voicemail or not getting an email reply, and it starts to show like, wow, there's a real difference here. And again, I realize in the conference room, camera one, nobody wants to hear that, and I think there's this immediate trigger reaction to maybe attack me. But I'm trying to be part of the solution, and we want everybody to be part of it too. We know there will always be bad actors in the marketplace, so pick a side. Yeah. Be on the good or stay on the bad. We don't, only you can make that choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But what we're looking for is a better marketplace where we're not all getting ripped off, and if we're forced to move into this new water world where, You either stay with the group or get away from the bandits. That's what's going to happen.
100%.
And that's actually, it's already started, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I
mean,
is
everything
a
we're
little crazy.
doing.
No business wants to hear this, but
Yeah, and of course, I'm gonna steer the conversation over to Super Dispatch, but everything we're doing in the marketplace today is to ensure trust and security for everyone who is participating in that marketplace. So we vet shippers, we vet brokers,
right.
and we vet carriers. So if you're going to play in the Super Dispatch marketplace, you have to be vetted. So everything from verified carrier to ensuring that brokers have broker bonds and shippers also have insurance. Their legal documents are all as they should be. Nobody gets into Super Load Board without being looked at. So, this is just the necessity of the future, right?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just here's another ad campaign. Jasmine is in the live chat. Write this one down. You don't have to take off your shoes, but we are going to check your ID.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
That's where that's where we're at. And so if it's a soft touch security without, because it's interesting, we know this too. We've seen some technologies show up and they're like, okay, before you can do anything, welcome, we're really glad you're here, but we need your credit card number and your address. And it's like, okay, well, that's a little much. But soft security, right? Because you're not, to be a verified carrier, you're not asking for that much.
No, just the normal stuff.
Plus a couple other things, right? Like
the blooper asked for even.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
talk more about that.
Yeah. We need a W-9 on file. We need that shows your EIN or your social security number for tax purposes. And that's really for shippers and brokers, but it's one way that we're able to verify your business is who you say your business is. Certificate of insurance for cargo insurance as well as your USDOT certificate. We just need to verify that you have active authority. But as far as other things we're looking at, we're assessing everyone on many levels. So it's not that hard to become a verified carrier on Super Dispatch. And if you are watching or listening and you're not a verified carrier, just grab those 3 documents, upload them to your carrier profile on Super, and within a couple days you'll be a verified carrier. It's that simple. So it's really easy to prove that you are who you say you are.
So let me ask you this. Oh, good. Sue, go ahead.
So, as far as the W-9 goes, we're having problems with certain brokers out there that are saying they're different than the S4 form. But I notice we don't have any problems with you. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly they're looking for. I mean, Ready is one of those people, by the way. And I'm sending in the W-4, then they want the S4 directly from the government, which half of these people have never saved those forms. I've changed it, and just so you know, it's going through RMIS. I've changed it different ways, still won't be accepted. Wholesale does the same thing. Tell me what they're exactly looking for and how I can't figure it out.
That's interesting. It's not a problem I'm aware of, but I can absolutely reach out to our compliance team. I think the most important details on the W-9 are that either the EIN or the social security number matches the individual or the business entity that is associated with it. So I don't
always to do with the name. Like the name is not exactly written down the same way that was on the original S4 form. And I don't know how we go in and check it as well so we can figure it out, because they won't tell you what exactly it says. They want you to figure it out and then send it in, or they want that S4 form directly from the government.
Yeah.
Which is odd, I thought.
It's good feedback, and I appreciate it. I can definitely reach out to our compliance team and we'll see what's up.
That would be great,
Perfect.
just so I know where to go to maybe check our own guys as they're signing up too.
For
That
sure.
might- you know what I mean?
We're gonna
Yeah.
keep Ben. We're gonna keep you on for this next segment because I want to. By the way, we had. I want to get to something interesting here, but this guy says I'm new brokering. I'm a new broker. If customer pays cash when the car is dropped, does carrier see my deposit fee on the invoice? I'm a new broker. I got questions on how and when to charge my customer, how the driver gets paid, when to pay him, how to add my broker fee. I thought it was really interesting. I mean, it's just like broker 101 stuff. I told the guy, watch the show, tune into the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business. We'll see where this goes. Also, Dalmac was sharing that he got this email from a company about, sending each other positive ratings on Google. I found that interesting. Okay, this is big. This is perfect. This is right in line with what we're talking about. This was sent to me by Ken. Ken, thank you. This is today.
Wow.
The FMCSA again declines to tackle double brokerage. Which, Sue, I thought of James Lamb immediately, right?
Yeah.
The guy's got to be thinking, what? I mean, he works so hard. And I'm just saying, I mean, it would be disappointing to work on something so hard. In fact, won't it be disappointing if nothing ever gets fixed and it's cargo theft scam for the rest of our lives? That would suck. All right, well, in double brokerage scam, the FMCSA has held listening sessions and asked for public comments, despite receiving many comments requesting the agency to take a tougher stance on so-called double brokering. The FMCSA is refusing to act, I guess. They're saying double brokering is not a term defined by statute or regulation. And commenters use the term to refer to several different activities, which is true. It appears most commenters concerned with double brokering are referring to ways in which some entities act as brokers without proper authority, which you'd think is illegal activity. While the guidance contained in this notice is limited to the issues Congress required FMCSA to examine within the enactment of IAJA, I know, we're already asleep. Not even through the sentence, asleep. FMCSA nevertheless recognizes that its guidance is operating in a broader context and has impacts beyond the immediate focus of this guidance. I gotta tell you, I can't even make sense of just this one sentence, which might be the point. I'm gonna keep going. Does anybody want to say anything about this? I don't even know what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much there is to say here. I think, this is something that's been going on in the freight and logistics world for so long. And you would think that the FMCSA is tired of having listening sessions on it. But
this is kind of what Brian said yesterday, is that this is a problem in all of trucking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But in general freight, there seems to be more of an acknowledgement. Whereas in auto transport, I think we're still in denial. But, there's many stages of grief. Dispatch services. You'll love this. As it did its interim guidance, the FMCSA spends the bulk of its notices addressing dispatch services, so-called. In its final guidance, and by the way, I commented, I'd love to believe that they listen to something I said. FMCSA says there is no statutory or regulatory definition of a dispatch service. Nor is there a commonly accepted definition of such a service, which I've said this is what's complicated. You've got carrier dispatchers, you've got broker dispatchers, you've got police dispatchers. You can't throw them all out.
Right.
Some features of dispatch services include working exclusively for motor carriers, not for shippers. That's what I say. Sourcing loads for motor carriers. There you go. And performing additional services for motor carriers that are unrelated to sourcing shipments. They got it. That's it. FMCSA does not have statutory authority to regulate dispatch services, which there's your definitive in case any dispatcher was wondering if they're illegal. Not so, according to the FMCSA. You heard it on ATI on June 15th at 1:05 p.m. Central. The FMCSA does not have statutory authority to regulate dispatch services, unless such entities also meet the criteria for registration as brokers, freight forwarders, and motor carriers, which, let's go back a slide, they just said they are not taking a stance on double brokering. So I don't think there'll be any SWAT teams at dispatch offices anytime soon. It goes on to say dispatch services may be classified as either brokers or bona fide agents, which, again, depending on the nature and scope of their activities. There you go. That's amazing. They got it. With no single factor is paramount, while no single factor is paramount in assessing the business relationship between a dispatch service and a motor carrier, the extent of a motor carrier's control is relevant. Because the greater control a carrier has over dispatcher's actions, the less likely the dispatcher is to exercise independent discretion in sourcing and allocating loads, and hence needs broker authority. Anyways, all the Facebook and all the dispatcher hate. I know. Here's the downside, Sue. We're going to see a lot more crazy dispatching spams and texts popping up all over the place because it's not a straight up scam to be a dispatcher.
Right. I've gotten 2 just this week from different.
Well, apparently they're following the FMCSA, which I doubt. All right. So I wanted to say, so now that we hear what the FMCSA says, anything to add? Ben.
I was going to let Sue take this one.
Oh, Sue. All right, I like it. Good call. Sue.
I mean, we all know, and it's been going on. Honestly, I think, I don't want to say it like this, but since we started the show, I have seen more and more dispatch companies just come out of the woodwork. And I don't know if it's from the show, but it's weird that all of a sudden then we're getting like texts and emails, I mean, just nonstop. And their companies charging way less. And I'm sure it's because they don't know what they're doing is part of it. That's why I always say when you go to a dispatch company, get references. You know, don't just because it's cheap doesn't make it good. And I'm sure we're going to see more, especially after that. Like I said, I got 2 emails just this week from 2 different companies, and we get phone calls constantly asking us if we want to sign up for their dispatch service. And we always tell them, you know, hey, we're a dispatch company, don't call here anymore. But
right. Guess what? We don't need your dispatch services because we're a dispatch service.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, so we're not regulated, so you have to look at it that way. When you're going to go find a dispatch company, keep that in mind and get references because, yes, they can steal your money. Yes, they can do all this stuff. You know, we've talked about companies I've come across that a driver was with a company like that where they took all their money. But that's because they did all the loads under their name instead of, like, this is what was going on. There was an actual transport company signing up people, taking the loads underneath their transport company name, and then giving them out to the drivers and then saying, okay, you only got paid X amount of money. That kind of stuff can happen. Watch for that stuff because we don't touch your money. The whole point of this is the money comes straight to you. We may facilitate it getting into the right account and that kind of thing, or the comm check comes to you. But if anybody's taking your money and then saying, I'm going to pay you X amount, right there's your sign. Do not do that. And if that happens, get out quickly. And it's kind of like, you'll see some of this stuff with, I hate to say this, but with certain factoring companies out there, crazy stuff is happening with them too, where they're making you sign a contract and they want you to factor everything instead of just
I don't like that either.
You want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So factoring CODs, making them do CODs and stuff like that. Now, I work with a legitimate company. Anytime anybody wants his name, number, I hand it out. A lot of my drivers are with him. I've never had a problem. But there are, there's other companies out there that do shady stuff and will continue to do shady stuff until they get caught. So, I mean, like I always say, that you have good and you have bad in everything that we do. So you got to pretty much cross all your T's and make sure whoever you're with, you trust you like, you get along with. I mean, not everybody's going to sign up with us and we're their cup of tea either, you know what I mean? And it's not going to be about the money though. I'm going to make sure you get your money. But I mean, personalities, that kind of thing. But like I said, you're
Absolutely.
going to see a whole bunch of companies coming out trying to get people. And there's a lot of drivers out there that don't believe in dispatchers. They don't even get it, don't want to discuss it, don't understand it, you know.
That's what I want to say for a second. See, here's the thing: is and someone's gonna say, "Well, Jay, you're going to eat your words," and that is that. After defending the act of dispatching, now we see a bunch of
Wahoos come up and
exactly. But so I believe in you know, freedom and right to do business as well as some form of security.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's do a little bit of vetting and make sure somebody isn't, and because I'm sure there's going to be some fake dispatcher who really is a broker, of course, and I'm not defending that at all, and I don't like the idea that anybody would imply that I would defend that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you know, so. And but it's almost like the wedge trailer stuff too. You know what happened years ago when I heard that dispatchers are illegal and wedgies are like ridiculous? I thought that is the stupidest mindset I've heard. It's just dumb. Now there are flips of the week which we need to fix too, right? We need to stop the flip of the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think
There's so much work to do.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to like, you know, choosing a service provider, you know, I think this ties into kind of the second half of the topic I was talking about in my email to you, Jay, was, you know, my kind of, I guess, the sour taste in my mouth on the example was, man, this is just another entity who's in the carrier's pocket. And I think it's so, so important that as like a startup carrier or a carrier who's growing or scaling their operations, maybe you're hiring a couple drivers, like the importance and the need to vet your service providers, so that you know exactly how you want the outcome of that relationship to be is so, so important. There's a saying, and it's fast, good, or cheap. Pick two. And I think if you can, at the end of the day, answer that question about your service provider and your goals and your, you know, the accomplishments that you want to make as a business, and that service provider is able to, you know, help you do that, then that's absolutely essential. So yeah, this is it kind of ties back into like, you know, the number of like where are you putting your dollars as a business and how are you leveraging those dollars? Are you buying a bunch of fragmented like third-party, you know, tools? Are you spreading work across like 6 different people, you know, to where maybe you could boil those things down into like, you know, smaller operations by using different tools, or, you know, making your business more efficient by tying things into one system. These are kind of the questions you have to ask. Is my dollar, like, am I getting the value out of the dollar that I'm investing into this third-party service or this tool that I'm using or this service provider? So like the point I wanted to make there in my communication to you, Jay, was like, you can get load alerts on the big load board. Yes, it costs money, but you can also leverage like an entire system as a carrier to manage 99.9% of your business and get those alerts for free. Like, you can do all of that on Super Dispatch. Why are you investing in 6 different tools to accomplish what one does? It doesn't make sense. And I think it's super, super important to consolidate those, you know, those different subscriptions and things like that into one system to where everything's in one place. You're not hunting down information. You're not getting text from 6 different sources about the same piece of information. So, you know, my second point here was like, let's kill the number of tools that we're using at once just to do the same job, and leverage that business budget wisely, you know?
Well, clearly, and you kind of hinted at this before, clearly there's a need for more awareness. How many shippers and carriers don't realize what you just said is true? Apparently it's many.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
they knew, and so I suppose we have to work, the three of us will have to continue to work on ways to improve awareness so that they know. And I tell you what, you made me just think of, for how many years have we heard of companies connecting shipper to carrier on a marketplace, but taking the transaction off the marketplace to finish the transaction? That should be a giant red flag of a problem. And I first heard about this, I'm going to go with 5+ years ago. This has been going on for years. It would be like, again, I meet you at the mall. We go to the kiosk. I go to your Sue. I'm at your kiosk at the mall. And before we do business, I'm like, listen, can we step outside of the mall? And then I'll buy your stuff. But I just want to step outside. Like, what? That would be crazy. And if nobody's at the wheel on this, I mean, this is a giant problem.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of companies taking the transaction off the marketplace to finish the business. My gosh. Ben, if you saw that, wouldn't you be like, hey, whoa?
I would be really curious about it because,
Whoa.
I mean, as a shipper or broker, if you're leveraging the Super Dispatch marketplace, it's a key. It's a key to unlocking all of the information about your orders, about your your accounting, your driver's ability to pick up and deliver at the pace that they're able to, status updates. It's the key to so much. Why are you not unlocking that door? Like, I don't understand.
And I just had a visual. So the ATM, because it's a moneymaker, the ATM's got spray paint all over it, and people have ripped off parts of the machine, but the money's still flowing.
Yeah. Well, and tying into today's theme, you got to jiggle the place where you put your card to make sure there's not a
You
card
got to
skimmer
hit
on
the
it.
glass a little bit. You'll still get
Yeah.
your money. It's crazy. And I mean, again, Camera One conference room shareholders, do you guys know this stuff? I know you're seeing the money coming through, but have you seen the condition of the ATM lately? Oh my gosh. Wow, I smell a meme, don't you, Sue? Like this messed up ATM at like this dirty mall. That's the marketplace. Oh, but I speak in general terms. I mean, this is a weird show. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're at the beach. Okay. All right. I think we got what we needed. And Ben, you made great points. Let's do final thoughts. Ben, did you want to add anything before we go?
No, I think I would just say, like, if you're curious about Super Dispatch and, like, your ability to represent yourself as a carrier or a shipper or a broker, be an active player and a participant in a very secure and trusted marketplace, reach out to us. We absolutely would love to talk to you and learn from you.
Well, perfect. What's good contact info? What's best way? Can somebody call you or email you?
Absolutely. You can reach Super Dispatch anytime by emailing support@superdispatch.com. And you can always reach us there. You can reach me directly if you want to. Ben Hargis at superdispatch.com. I would love to talk to you.
Oh, that's an email address?
That's direct line
Hargis at superdispatch.com.
Ben, yeah.
Perfect. And is there any phone number that somebody can call? Because drivers, they can't.
Absolutely. 816-974-7002. And you'll hit the phone tree and just hit the option for support, and they'd be happy to answer any and all questions you have.
Perfect.
Jay, thanks so much for having me on. It was an absolute pleasure to talk about some of these topics today and share some emails, and look forward to the next time.
That's why I thank you for that. And I was telling Sue, I mean, we've really gone from, we still maintain the wacky veneer, but we are really in journalism now. and it's pretty exciting, actually. So it's
Yeah,
great to have you
absolutely.
aboard, talking about it, and sharing the good news. So, thank you, Ben. What we'll do is I'll put you back in the waiting room, and
Alrighty.
Sue and I
Bye,
will wrap
Sue.
this out. Thank you so
Enjoy
much.
the rest of your vacay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. See you, Ben.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, cool. So that was an awesome segment. We kept him a long time. It's 20 after 1. So how's the beach doing? Has anything changed in the past hour?
More people got out of the pool.
Oh, okay. There's a pool down there. Is
Yeah.
is it sunny? Is it overcast?
Oh, no, it's actually beautiful out here.
Wow.
The humidity here is nothing like in Missouri. I thought humidity in Missouri was bad, but no, it doesn't compare.
Your laptop is sweating.
Yes, I'm
right?
sweating, my
You're
laptop's
sweating.
my phone's sweating, everything's sweating.
That's so cool. I am jealous. I haven't been to the beach in a long time.
Yeah.
And so like California beach, you can't get in the water. Now someone's going to argue with me, or whatever, disagree. But it's cold.
Yeah.
The Pacific Ocean is cold.
Yeah.
Are you in the Gulf? You're on the Atlantic side.
Yes, I should be.
Oh, that's warm,
Well, it's
right?
super warm, but it's not. It's just right. I mean, when you get
Right.
in
It's just
up to
right.
the chest, you're like, and then you're okay.
Right. Okay.
Kind
Yeah.
of like a pool.
You're that way in the Pacific, but see, the Gulf is like a hot tub.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gulf is the best water.
Yeah. Panama City is my favorite place to go.
Exactly. Panama City is really popular. So, anyways, that's our beach report here on Dispatching Live. That's so great. Well, I know we're all jealous, and have a great time. Enjoy it. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for doing the show live from the beach. It's a first. It's an exclusive.
There
So,
you go.
all right. Well, then, I want to thank everybody in the live chat for saying hello. And Vance was talking about FMCSA and safety, and I just want to address this and say that is basically correct. The FMCSA is a safety organization, so yeah, brokering and dispatching spats and drama do not fall under safety. However, as I posed to Brian, if this double brokering leads to enough theft to where it's now crimes affecting consumers, will it become a legal issue? And then does that open the door to anybody who's not cracking down or whatever? And he said his opinion was, you'll like this conference room question one, camera one, is that this could take years to resolve whatever scam is really happening. So in the meantime, yeah, do what you got to do to protect yourself, because this is going to go on for a while. And this is why I believe that those load volume percentages, we will see some change, because if the marketplace doesn't take care of things, then the consumers will be involved in rethinking how they do business, which is interesting. So you get change one way or another. It just depends on if you want to be out in front of it or behind it. Ask Bud Light. Okay. And on that note, thank you so much, everybody, for participating in another Dispatching Live. I just wanted to say, I was curious. Oh, this is show 134 for Dispatching Live. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
This is our 134th show. It's come a
couple years.
I think we did the first one. It was either 20. I want to say 2020.
Well, I know we were doing it in 2020 during COVID. I thought it happened
So
before that.
2019 then, maybe.
Yeah, same thing.
That's pretty cool, man. A lot's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot's gonna change. We're gonna see so much more AI.
Yeah.
Which is, I wonder if there's AI in the scam, and maybe that's, I don't know.
I am thinking about that too, because that's going to be in there too.
But on the upside, somebody was telling me you can actually, there are now AI marketing tools. You can have AI create your PowerPoint by telling it what you were looking for. Like, so if you're a carrier and you lack marketing, try ChatGPT. You might save a bunch of time. I've already done this. Check this out. When we go live at trade shows, there's only 8 people, so only 8 people are going to hear this. Secret. When I go live at trade shows, still 8 people. When I go live at trade shows, I used to spend at least 30 minutes writing a 5-paragraph description about the event. Now I go to ChatGPT and say, write me 5 paragraphs about blankety blank trade show. Copy and paste, done.
Wow.
30 minutes saved. Like, whoa. You could literally never do that a year ago. It didn't exist. Not that I know of. So, yeah, like, if you're a writer, this is why, actually, did you know there was a writer's strike in Hollywood? Okay. Jay, you're getting way off base. We just lost a viewer. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're saying goodbye. What do we say, office?
Bye, Sue.
What do we say, beach? Everybody in the beach is like, goodbye, Sue. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in live from the beach.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you.
All right. Have fun. Thanks, Sue. Bye.